In Myanmar, Tzu Chi volunteers have given rice and cooking oil to 8,000 families. Tzu Chi joins the Taiwan Science Festival in Xinzhu, promoting disaster prevention and environmental education. Welcome to Thai Headlines, I'm Hu Chao. Glad to have you here. In Myanmar, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to organize distributions to help the poor. This time, they went to a town located in the western part of Yangon. There are 11 communities in this area. Because of the pandemic, there are fewer job opportunities. Along with rising prices, many locals are facing difficulties. Tzu Chi volunteers have given rice and cooking oil this time to help more than 8,000 families.
Tzu Chi volunteers are preparing for rice delivery and ready for the distribution in King Yamdang Township, where it is located in western part of Yangon. As numbers of households exceeds 8,000, Tzu Chi volunteers need to transport rice to the community by land and ship. A truck loaded with rice dropped into the community and got stuck in a mud pit. Fortunately, local villagers helped relieve the danger.
The road conditions here are not good, and there's a lot of mud. When the car is driven in, it is easy to fall into the mud. We know that Tzu Chi is here to help us, so I asked someone to help move the car. Thank you for sending the rice.
In the terms of shipping, it is shipped directly from the rice factory, and many local residents have become these helpers.
During the pandemic, commodity prices have risen, so I'm very happy that Tzu Chi can come to help us. I'm very happy to help carry rice. I'm not tired at all and feel very powerful.
One day of the distribution, the volunteers borrowed the community temple, Buddhist halls, and the Ministry of Health as distribution points and delivered rice and cooking oil to 8,302 disadvantaged families.
I thought I was poor and couldn't help others. Today, you told me that I can save a handful of rice. Now that I have a rice bank, I can start saving a handful of rice every day for charity.
After the distribution, Tzu Chi and volunteers also conduct home visitation and encourage residents to save a handful of rice every day to continue the love in the community.
In the Philippines, during the pandemic, Tzu Chi held several distributions, all of which were held in the indigenous community of Pampanga province. Most of the residents here work in agriculture, yet there's nowhere to sell their crops during the pandemic. Therefore, the local government asked Tzu Chi for help, and volunteers responded quickly by sending in rice and living supplies.
A few wooden boards and pieces of comfort, such as simple storefront. It is the source of income for the Josephine family to make a living.
My husband was repairing the blower of the washing machine. It's really difficult now because of pandemic. So I had to open a grocery store to make ends meet.
In this village of Lusang Island, more than 70% of the residents are Aborigines. They live by the weather, and their lives have become more difficult after the pandemic.
Before the pandemic, my fellow Aborigines are able to sell ginger, taro root, papaya. After the pandemic, their crops that they planted could not be sold, and they could not survive.
Tzu Chi formed a relationship with the residents of Pampanga province in 2015 and has continuously given them assistance they need over the years.
We are thankful to the Tzu Chi Foundation because they have been our partner for 6 years. And even now, with the pandemic, they still don't let us down, and especially sent us rice and living supplies. That is why we are grateful to Tzu Chi Foundation.
That's really what I needed. Even if I don't have money, as long as we only have rice at home, it's enough. We got the rice today so that the kids don't have to go hungry anymore. Thank you so much for giving us today.
The residents have received their daily needs and brought back the blessings of Tzu Chi people, and they have to tie over the difficulties together.
The pandemic not only changed people's living habits, it also changed consumer behavior. Through the year, online shopping has become a norm, yet this phenomenon has brought heavy load onto the environment. Transportation increases carbon emissions, and packaging also increases garbage output. In order to solve garbage issues, a recycling vendor recycles cardboard boxes, turning it into products and toys. A ginormous garbage amount is still the biggest issue in Indonesia. According to local stats, Indonesia's garbage output has been exponentially increasing during the pandemic. The cause is not far off from people's living habits, as many stayed at home and resorted to online shopping. Thus, not only plastic waste became an issue, cardboard boxes and food packaging produced even more waste. For 5 years, a recycling vendor has been on an eco-friendly mission, recycling cardboard and turning it into products and toys.
Betul, salah satu solusi kalau
One of the solutions is to make recycled cartons into environmentally friendly decoration and toys. That's one of the ways to do it, but we mainly focus on cardboard boxes processing. Because cardboard's material is composed of waste paper, we can easily process this. This is one of our solutions.
bahan baku terusannya adalah kardus. Itu.
Not wanting to combat the issue alone, the recycling vendor also invited nearby residents to come and do recycling together, reducing garbage output effectively. Besides doing recycling, the activities here allow residents to spend their time and turn recyclables into valuable objects. The items made can then be sold, bring more income to many.
Kita kalau ngomongin kardus yang ada di rumah.
Just like what we know, during the pandemic, many of our activities in our country are suspended.
Anak-anak yang udah pandemi sekian lama pasti kan.
Later on, I discovered a lot of cardboard boxes around my home. They're all from a store or canteen, yet these cardboard boxes can be reused again.
Kardus bekas itu banyak di warung ya. Nah, di warung itu ada beberapa
They
jenis.
include boxes containing water, instant noodles, and food products, but the most common cardboard boxes are for water bottles and instant noodles.
Bekas air mineral, bekas mie instan, sama bekas snack. Tapi paling banyak biasanya bekas mineral sama.
Moreover, these wasted cardboard boxes can be made into tissue boxes, photo frames, and toys. In order to show compassion to medical workers' well-being, at Indonesia, many people initiated movements to bring care to medical workers. In North Jakarta, a restaurant owner vows to provide 3 meals a day to nearby medical workers. This act of kindness has inspired many locals to support her. Let's take a look. Medical workers must face all sorts of challenges at the front line, but as guardians of the people, they must provide the best service for patients. In order to thank medical workers for their hard work, a restaurant owner in North Jakarta started to provide hot food to medical workers in a nearby health center.
Kita pada saat pacaran kita bisa bilang kan, jalan untuk menuju ke hati.
Just like being in love, but we do this through food in order to express our thankfulness. It's best to do charity with food, especially during the pandemic. People are looking for the medicine and oxygen cylinders and most forget about food distributions.
Tapi banyak yang melupakan untuk memberikan makanan.
During the process of distributing hot food, the restaurant owner wants to see people satisfied with the amount of food and to also eat healthily.
Maka dari itu kita ada ahli gizi yang siap untuk.
Therefore, when we collaborate with nutritionists, we provide information via social media.
Sizes informations di Instagram. Karena ada ahli gizi ini otomatis.
So we invite the nutritionists to pay attention to our food because our goal is to provide food with a balanced nutrition. This not only applies to one meal, but all 3 meals a day. So our nutritionists will pay attention to the nutritious values of our meals.
Accepting the hot food, Dr. Mubinda expresses thanks on behalf of medical workers. Thanking people for noticing their needs, to her, nutritious food can help boost medical workers' immunity.
To me, it's very helpful because the food provides a lot of nutrition and we don't have to bring our lunch anymore or worry about what we eat for lunch. Now we have the lovely meal made of kind people.
Besides providing food to a health center, a 2-week distribution is held at a residency, providing food to funeral home workers who are on a 24-hour standby. The food will warm up the heart and stomach of medical workers, and the act of kindness has cheered them up in such difficult times. After the pandemic eased, the Taiwan Science Festival began in Xinzhu. At the Science Bazaar, Tzu Chi was invited to set up a booth to promote disaster prevention and environmental education. Here's more.
With the encouragement of so many people, the little sister must remember the disaster prevention kit.
Regarding the disaster prevention kit, she will know what to bring if there is an emergency. I think it is a good activity.
The most recommended is to hide directly under the table and by the wall. If the tree is burned, the soil will become loose. After it is loosened, the land will become desertified. So if you build a house on the loose land, it will be easier to collapse. Then there are frequent floods, and the discarded garbage will be washed into the sea, eaten by those little animals, and die.
Students speak in detail, and it is good for students to serve students.
They are the students who have passed the gifted class, and they have a better foundation in natural science than ordinary children.
I think the big sister and brother preach to the children. I think the effect is very good.
It may not be that professional to learn something from life, but it is not bad to learn at least a little common sense.
There is a fire here and an earthquake there. That is, a lot of relevant information can be learned.
Did you know that there was an earthquake just now? They encountered the earthquake again this time. There's a booth for the earthquake here. I think this fits well, don't you think?
Science is in our lives. Through science, we can live better.
It can motivate students to do a lot of things for disaster prevention, environmental protection, and the technology they know.
After learning the correct concept from the game, as encountering a disaster, both adults and children can come in handy.
Tzu Chi promotes the Home Safety Project and a Study with Peace of Mind program in communities. In Xinzhu, a pair of siblings whose father died and mother suffered a stroke urgently needs help. Tzu Chi volunteers sent them a laptop so that the younger sister can study and install handrails for their mother so that she can move more safely at home. Let's take a look.
Each picture is the epitome of happiness, but after the father passed away, the mother suffered a stroke. The brother and sister pair, who are still studying in school, must bear the responsibilities to take care of their families. Volunteers sent them a brand new computer, hoping to provide them with some assistance.
The screen of the mobile phone is relatively small, so it's not easy for me to see clearly what the teacher has written. A laptop will make me see things comfortably.
The elder brother is very considerate to his sister. He prefers to use the old one while giving the new one to his sister. He loved her very much.
The elder brother is precocious and sensible, while the younger sister is also caring. The board of chief has been caring for them for a long time and even reported their case to Tzu Chi.
When we delivered the laptop to their home, we walked around the house and found that their mother is having mobility issues. But there are no handrails in their home.
Seeing the needs of this family, volunteers immediately came to install handrails for safety.
When I'm not here, Mom can go to the toilet by herself. She does not need to worry about not having enough strength to walk or nothing for her to hold on to. Before, I need to stand by her side for her to hold on to me, or she has to rely on something to walk.
Tzu Chi promotes the Home Safety Project and a Study with Peace of Mind program in communities. Tong Hua, who lives alone, has been longing for installing handrails in the toilet.
I'm totally satisfied. Thank you very much. Before, I would worry because every time the wash basin would be poured off by myself, it would break and fall down. I would also get hurt.
After all, there are some small places that the government may not have noticed. Tzu Chi can notice these little details and take good care of these elders. I think it's really good.
Tzu Chi volunteers cooperate with board of chiefs closely, lighting up the forgotten corners with love and warmth.
The long-awaited Nehu Parent-Child Growth class is now open. The Xinzhu area also participated in this event. One of the students was originally very shy, and after participating in the 2 or 3 hour course, there was an unexpected change.
This is just the beginning. The game brings joy. After entering the topic, discuss how to live life with the solar terms.
This solar term is some of the wisdom of our ancestors. We hope to let our children know what changes have taken place in spring, summer, autumn, and winter.
Come here to learn a lot, things that the teachers at school will not teach.
Coming here to learn allows children to interact with their mothers and chat with them. We can also get some knowledge, which I think is pretty good.
This course is related to the students, including the solar term in which they were born. Here is to have fun, learning diversity, enjoy food. The changes of students, even mothers, are pleasantly surprised.
When we first came, he was very shy. He said that I don't want to come next time. After he returned to his seat, I asked him again, and he said it was fun and he would come next time. I think this is only 2 or 3 hours, so he can change so much.
What children learn by doing is actually what we have to face every day. In 3 meals a day, that is how to develop a good diet.
Find the joy of parent-child class allows parents and children to get more, change more, and become memories for each other.
After the outbreak of the COVID pandemic, many public speech therapy clinics turned into online services. This caused speech-impaired patients in poor families to miss the golden treatment period with no place for assistance. Tzu Chi volunteers immediately provided tablets to the speech therapy clinic of the National University of Malaysia so that patients can receive online treatment at home.
Since the outbreak of the pandemic, many public speech therapy clinics in Malaysia have been forced to suspend therapy sessions, leaving patients and their families unable to seek help.
If you miss the golden period of treatment, for children it may result in a permanent injury.
Being unable to tolerate the patient's delay in treatment, Tzu Chi volunteers immediately provided tablets to the clinic to assist patients with online treatment at home.
By having the tablets, they can receive the quality speech therapy rehabilitations from our clinic, and this will definitely improve their quality of life in the future.
The computer will stay at patient's home and we can give the patient some treatment. If the patient is progressing very well, we'll finish the treatment and the computer will come back to us. After that, we can use the same computer and give it to another family.
Today we handed out over 10 tablets. They can get help through the tablet in terms of speech therapy.
Grasping the golden treatment period allows patients to have the chance to regain their communication skills.
According to statistics, for every 10 people in Taiwan, 6 people own a motorcycle, which also is in correlation with the high motorcycle accident rates. Now with an intelligent traffic system, motorcycle drivers will be able to know the road conditions 100 meters ahead. This not only alerts drivers, but also lowers the rate of accidents. Let's take a look. Connecting both Taipei and New Taipei City, the Taipei Bridge becomes extremely busy during rush hour. The swarm of motorcycles is a commonality in northern Taiwan. Taiwan ranks top in motorcycle ownership density. According to the MOTC, in 2020, there are over 14 million motorcycles in Taiwan, amounting to for every 10 people, 6 people will own a motorcycle. This also is in direct correlation to the high rates of motorcycle accidents.
Actually, over 75% of accidents are related to motorcycles. It's either motorcycles colliding with cars or motorcycles crashing into another motorcycle.
According to statistics, motorcycle drivers average about 400 NT dollars of transportation fees per month, a cheap and convenient means of transportation for most people. Yet on a motorcycle, when accidents happen, the driver receives direct impact. What can make motorcycle riding safer?
This is called the Intelligent Road Condition Detector. It prevents students riding motorcycles and encountering accidents like falling or colliding with another vehicle. As of now, the road here has 3 different directions, and each direction has a detector that detects vehicle motion.
The intelligent traffic system comes equipped with chips and a radar, reminding drivers to drive with caution.
On the right, there are antennas. It's also called the RFID, the tablet below is the radar. And through the two detection devices, it can detect vehicles passing by, alerting the computer through Wi-Fi and then passing the data onto the intelligent traffic system.
When motorcycle drivers are passing by a high accident road, a warning sign will be displayed near the roads, alerting the driver. This measure is currently taken near multiple schools. Combining the RFID chip onto students' motorcycle and ID, 100 meters before an intersection, a detector can receive signal from the student's vehicle. Through computing, signs will then be displayed to drivers on each side of the intersection.
We utilize the active RFID by installing it onto the vehicle. It has the size of a phone, even smaller. If installed onto a motorcycle, it will continually send out signals, and if it's within the receiver's range, we'll notice a nearby RFID, which represents an incoming motorcycle. It functions like this.
If a vehicle doesn't have an RFID equipped, the radars attached onto the signs will directly detect and warn incoming drivers.
As of now, our school has 17 independent road condition detectors and has reduced at least half of the accidents.
As the data is uploaded to the cloud simultaneously, engineers can remotely monitor road conditions and provide assistance whenever needed.
We want to put this device at high-risk intersections, so we utilize technology of the IoT and then apply to the area of road safety.
The motorcycle traffic warning system is the first in the world. Now, after combining IoT and electric motorcycles, warning signs and traffic data will be incorporated onto the dashboard of future motorcycles. In the school's campus, officials have lowered the speed limit as it decreased accidents by 30%.
The warning signs, besides applying to places near roads, we will also apply the warning signs to the dashboard of motorcycles. In the future, we can combine warning signs with mobile phones.
Although in Taiwan, motorcycle types amount to approximately 1,400 types, surprisingly, less people think about lowering the motorcycle accident rates. But now with a system created by the Institute of Information Industry, riding a motorcycle has become safer. In Taiwan, Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital especially prepared a Halloween party for patients who are children and invited their parents too. The skit performed promotes environmental awareness and encourages children to eat more veggies. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.